Hey, what's going on? Sean Cushing here, back with another video. The title of this video is Energy Battery. Energy Battery. This is gonna be for my introverted folks, especially my black introverted folks, because at the end of the day, if you're an introverted person, then you know something about, recharging up, and energy battery can be a good example or a good phrase or a good like terminology for what I'm about to dive into. For me, like I feel like what takes away my battery, like what really does that is like a excessive amount of talking. And that could be in a big group setting, or that could be public speaking. That could also be something as simple as ordering food. Like let's say I'm going to the drive-through, and I gotta read the menu, and then all that other stuff, and I could be in my head about like how attractive I may be looking, or the how somebody else may view me. They might think that I'm super cool, and then I can't like make a decision on what I'm ordering. But that drains my battery like crazy. Being at work, answering phones, even being on the phone with friends and family. I barely speak to my parents because they just drain my battery. Barely speak to family members. I have to ease my way back into it. Kind of got to talk myself through it as it's going on, and uh, sometimes people that I consider to be good for me also will have that effect on me as well. Unfortunately, is it just really boils down to just like heavy communication. And it's weird because really appreciate somebody that's really um that can handle that one-on-one conversation with me. I appreciate it. And I don't think that I'm a bad communicator. I think that I'm an effective communicator. Maybe to the point of tuning my own horn. I put so much effort into it that I make it seem effortless. But at the same token, it's very draining. It's very annoying, and the best ways for me to recharge it is being home. Case in point right now, like being home, like one of the best things that I like to do after uh a hard day at work, and I'm not going to the gym, is hopping in the shower, immediately washing the day off of me. Sometimes that just like relieves me of the BS that I had to experience, or it relieves my mind for a moment, and um I'm not thinking about work. I'm not thinking about all the stuff that drained me. I'm not thinking about the crazy text messages and conversations that I experienced. And I also mentioned the gym. The gym is great. Like I'm really focused on becoming lean. I'm not getting any younger. I'm 35 years old, and I never was in good shape. Like high school, I don't really want to count it. In high school, I joined the track team my junior year, and I was super skinny. Probably they used to be like a running joke back in the day. They used to say you're like a buck 50 soaking wet. So I probably was like 130 pounds, if that, in high school. And I ran track. I played indoor soccer with the soccer team. I try to do the wrestler diet with the wrestlers to try to like gain more weight, or be um be in those type of circles when I'm in the weight room so I can learn from these people because I started so late, a little too late. At the time I had a high school sweetheart, and the way that her parents brought her up, I was thinking to myself, "There's no way that I'm gonna be able to support her lifestyle if I don't get my act together." So I joined the track team, and I was trying to find things to keep me motivated with school at that time. But in saying all that, being around those folks, I didn't really get muscular, and nowadays I'm the most muscular. This is the most muscular I've been. Like I don't want to be like like doing all this extra stuff. Like it ain't like crazy, but um, it's the best I've been. My early 20s and my mid 20s and my late 20s. My late 20s is when I started, like 29 going into 30 is when for real started. But but yeah, going to the gym is super powerful for me. And like I said, I'm introverted, so I don't really go out of my way and talk to people in the gym. I kind of just stay out the way. um Even though this is not the journal that I use, my gym bag is actually right over here, but I'm not going to pick it up. But like I would carry something like this, like a journal, and I'll write down what I'm doing, and I'll try to just you know, level up every time I go into the gym, and it's good to document. I actually want to start recording myself when I'm in the gym. Like I actually have like a tripod here with my phone on it and stuff like that. I got to get to 50 um followers on TikTok. I recently just made a TikTok to promote my channel. This channel, which is the main channel, C Sean Yapping, my reaction channel, which I'm gonna do a video for after this. Sean Cushney Reacts, and then of course my gaming channel, Sean Cushney Game, and all of those channels will be supported on the TikTok. So if you're into TikTok, you can follow me on TikTok. Is my last name first, which is Cushney, and then Sean. So in saying that, let me continue on with the what else helps me charge my battery. And oddly enough, playing video games. Like I don't play video games just to play games. If I put on the game, it's because I'm about to stream it and I'm creating content. And I guess that's slash playing video games, but slash creating content. In my head, I don't want to think of myself as a super creative person, because like if I was this super creative person, then my videos would have like millions of views, and my social media platforms would have millions of views and all this other stuff like that. I have a super big following and all that, but I really don't. But there was a time in my life where I love photography, I love videography, and I loved, you know, putting myself in these creative environments where I was able to brainstorm with other creative people, other like minded people, and we were able to create. And now that I'm not in that space, the best way for me to create now is with the stuff that I have, which is these cameras, the microphone, and the game. And I'll just like to post those type of activities, you know, just like anybody else would. Instead of me posting that the sun is shining and I'm getting an ice cream, I want to post that I'm playing the game, and I want to share my thoughts, and I want to react to stuff, and I want to that's what I want my content to be. And that soothes me, that recharges my battery. Like I could really do this all day. Kind of like Steve Rogers, Captain America. Like he could do this all day. He could fight all day. I could really create content and stuff like this all day. Another thing that I like to do that's hard on my behalf for me is reading. Like currently I'm listening to an audiobook about the psychology of money. I'm about to say is about money. It's called The Psychology of Money. I'm listening to that. So slash reading is getting knowledge. Like knowledge is power for me. And I really enjoy, sitting down and reading a good book. As you can see behind me, I got like this little bookshelf here and on my couch. The last book I read over there was Pimp, uh, Iceberg Slim. It was a really interesting read for me, and like I said, right now I'm currently listening to an audiobook about money, and it's the more mindset more than anything. It's more about your mindset more than anything. But excuse me, the monitor went off real quick. But yeah, those things, like I said, the gym, reading, creating, you know, uh, those things help me recharge. Being home. I'm such a homebody now. When I was younger, like I live in New York, and I lived in the suburbs of New York. I lived in upstate New York my whole life, but like as a kid, hip hop, MTV, BET, very influential. I remember watching Cameron on TV, and I always wanted to live in Harlem. And I got a cousin that goes back and forth between Harlem and Connecticut. And shout outs to you, like that type of stuff. As when I was younger, like in my, you know, late teens, early 20s, I always imagined that I would be in that type of environment. And then now being this big age now, I can stay away from the city. The city won't work for me. I can tell you right now, like, nope, I'm good. Like I'm 100% good off the city. But that environment is too chaotic. It's too much going on. I'm not the type of guy that wants to have their head on a swivel all the time. My anxiety will go through the roof, and it's just easier to just stay out the way. It's just easier to stay out the way. But yeah, I think I rambled about that topic of the energy battery a little bit long enough. I think you can grasp the concept and see where I'm coming from, and things of that nature, especially if you're black. You're introverted, you're black, you might be like alternative, you're not like the stereotypical black person. I think you might find this relatable or enjoyable, and but maybe if you are leaning more towards the stereotypical, maybe you might never heard this perspective before, and it might be intriguing to you. So hey, just let me know how you feel. If you have an introverted friend, family member, are you introverted yourself? And I because I definitely think that being first of all, being African American or being black in America is already tough enough, and then not having a diverse community. Everybody outside of your community paints you to be a certain way, and then when you don't fit that narrative, they don't even know where to place you. So being black and introverted, especially let's say in the workplace, that's a whole nother video in its own. But um, we all need an outlet, and here's an opportunity to join um, a community, or or share a perspective in a safe space. And I'll leave it like that.